Manchester United have been played off the park by Norwich and Newcastle in consecutive games. That is what they have achieved by sacking their manager. Ralf Rangnick is well and truly wrecking it. Ralphie boy is wrecking it, and it is a joy to see. Maybe, just maybe, Ralf Rangnick should worry more about his abysmal football team than he does worry about our domestic cup competitions. You don't need to worry about the domestic cup competition, the League Cup, mate. You're not in it. Worry more about your defensive frailties. Worry more about your offensive profligacy. You are really up against it. There are some huge issues at that club. And the fact that Manchester United have been totally played off the park by Norwich and Newcastle in consecutive games is a really worrying night for Manchester United. It is so worrying, and it could have been worse. It is a terrible night at the office for Manchester United, but weirdly, it's a terrible night at the office for Newcastle United. Newcastle United were so worthy of 3 points tonight. They were so in need of those 3 points, and they were so deserving of those 3 points. And ultimately, they haven't got the 3 points because David De Gea, yet again, sensational. David De Gea, yet again, pulling the chestnuts out of the fire for Manchester United. David De Gea is world class, and his saves are making Manchester United relevant, because without him, who knows where they would be. That save from Saint-Maximin was truly brilliant, but the moment at the end, when David De Gea was worth his weight in gold, that moment at the end, it was it. Bruno Fernandes, lazily gives the ball away. He was terrible all night from when he came on, Fernandes, but he lazily gives the ball away. Murphy hits the post, and then Almiron, look, he forces a great save out of De Gea, don't get me wrong, but he has to score that. And it is such a shame, because it would have been such a deserving winner. It's such a shame that it didn't happen. But do you know what is so weird? When you're watching these two teams, the two Uniteds, you're watching them, and you think about who Manchester United are. You think about the money, the international talent that they have, the players that they brought in the summer, the aspirations, the history of the club, the colossal nature of Manchester United. And you compare that with who Newcastle are at the moment. Languishing in the relegation zone, conceded more goals than anyone, one win all season. There was genuinely nothing, not a Rizla paper between the two teams. You wouldn't be able to identify who was who. If you said one of these teams, full of international footballers, desperate to win the Champions League and the Premier League, the other one, desperate for survival. Nothing between them. And that is a terrible, terrible state of affairs for Ralf Rangnick. It is really, truly worrying. The other thing, Man United haven't played since the 11th of December, which was that atrocious game at Carrow Road. So they have had all this time to build up to this fixture, and that's what they churn out. That performance is what they churn out. And look, it's all very well Manchester United having these poor individual mistakes, individual players playing below par, individuals making error after error. Jadon Sancho, kind of talking to you here, but Marcus Rashford, if the cap fits, wear it, my friend. There are lots of examples where we can talk about the individuals. Champions League Varane, should we talk about him? More like Hackney Marshes Varane. Harry Maguire, what you playing at? I mean, the list goes on and on. But individual errors, okay, it happens. But Ralf Rangnick, he is the man that is all about system. And there is an alarming absence of any method when Manchester United are in possession. A real worry. And you've got to remember that they are playing against Newcastle. Newcastle. Ralf Rangnick preaches constantly about control. He preaches and talks to us as if he is this didactic professor who educates us and sees the game in a way that we don't. But you can preach all you like, mate. Your team don't look after the ball. You can preach all you like, mate. Your team don't defend. You can preach all you like, but you can't get the fundamentals right. And until you do, I'm afraid people are going to laugh at you. You're like this professor. It's an absolute joke. There was no sort of coherent strand running through that team. There was no sort of coherent thought. It was really bad. It was woeful up front. It was woeful at the back. And I don't really know where they go from here. They're lucky that they have some world-class players. They are so lucky. I've said it before on videos. I say they've got a world-class goalkeeper and a world-class centre-forward, and sometimes 2 and 2 makes a Christmas cake. You got someone stopping the goals going in, you got someone scoring them. You can do all right like that. And it kind of what happened tonight. World-class geezer in the net, making sure you don't concede. And then Edinson Cavani, doing what he does. I mean, he has now scored 6 goals in 17 Premier League appearances as a sub. That is putting him in now the elite. That is putting him up there with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Chicharito, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, and then Cavani. So only those 4 players have done it more times than Edinson Cavani, coming off the bench, scoring for his club. I think that what Manchester United need to do is make sure that Cavani goes nowhere. Martial's gone. Rashford is so out of form, it makes you wonder whether he'll ever discover it again. They can't let him leave. They need to block Barcelona's number, because if Barcelona come in for him and he goes, who knows where they're going to be? Who knows? Everything was so wrong. The midfield, tragic. Fred hooked off. McTominay hooked off, late, but hooked off. Matic coming on. I think it's a terrible state of affairs where Matic is probably the best out of the 3 in that position. Matic people were debating whether Matic was good enough at Chelsea half a decade ago. And he's still probably the best player in that position for Manchester United. I mean, it's really worrying. And then let's analyse the Newcastle United goal, shall we? I mean, everyone in that back 4 got it wrong. Almost everyone got it worse than the next person. It was like the domino effect. Everyone got it so wrong. I mean, Varane was totally caught out. Dalot shows him inside. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but even I know you don't do that, right? Keep him going the wrong way. Keep him going away from goal. Don't let him come in. Don't show him inside. I mean, it's amateur. It's schoolboy. Maguire knows he's coming inside because he's watched it happen, but chooses to do diddly squat about it. So he just let it happen. And, I mean, they're just so porous. But they do have the attacking talent, and that is why they are not completely and utterly struggling. But it's a really worrying time for Manchester United, because you thought that there would be something, a new manager bounce. But Tottenham are looking serious. Tottenham are looking really serious. Arsenal, you know where I stand on Arsenal, but can't argue with the fact that they are currently in 4th. Currently on 35 points, which is a lot more than the 28 Manchester United are on. So there is a real worry. The only problem for Newcastle tonight, I thought they played admirably, and a lot of people will say that they can survive off the back of a performance like that. But there is an anxious wait with regard to injuries. I mean, Wilson, Saint-Maximin, Shaw all picked up knocks. So there is a worry there. But I think the mood will be good. The mood will be good around the Toon. If you are drinking in the Strawberry after the game, I imagine that the conversations you'll be having in that pub overlooking St James's Park will be one of pride. And Eddie Howe is starting to do his thing. The reinvention of Joe Linton, the reinvigoration of John Joe Shelby. Room to be positive, perhaps. Thank you for watching this video. I must say I've enjoyed it. I hope you have as well. If you have, will you do me a favour? Please give it a like. It really helps me out. And please click subscribe. Go easy, step lightly, and stay free, my friends. Till next time.